All right, sample space, problem number 5, we're going to do a tree diagram. On number 5, a fair coin is tossed 3 times. What are the possible outcomes? How many total possible outcomes are there? So on a fair coin, it has 2 sides. Those 2 sides are heads and tails. It's going to be flipped 3 times. Okay, so we're going to have our first coin toss of heads or tails. Then we're going to have our second coin toss of heads or tails. And then we're going to have the third coin toss of heads or tails. So this first time, if I flip a heads, I'm going to draw a tree diagram. Sorry, the glare from my light. I'm going to draw a tree diagram of, well, what are the next 2 choices? Well, I could flip a heads or a tails. And so then I have to tree diagram this off to heads and tails and heads or tails. So if I flipped it 3 times, I could get heads, heads, heads. I could get heads, heads, tails. I could get heads, tails, heads. Or I could get heads, tails, tails. So now I have to do the other possible outcome. So on the first flip, if I don't get a heads, my other choice would be a tails. And so then my second coin toss could be a heads or a tails. And then the third coin toss could be heads or tails, or heads or tails. So I have 2 times 2 times 2. So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8 possible outcomes. 8 possible outcomes.